I've been living in Toa Payoh for 50 years. Kind of hard to believe, right? Especially when I look only 35. But yes, I've been here 5 decades, a place I call home. Now when you mention Toa Payoh, most people will think of HDB Hub, the iconic Dragon Playground, or the famous Toa Payoh Rojak. But believe you me, Toa Payoh is more than just that. It's rich in history, and there might be some other interesting things that you do not know about. I'm City Joe Guan. Join me as I bring you around Toa Payoh and to share with you 5 facts you may or may not know about Toa Payoh, my home. Toa Payoh is the first self-sufficient town to be built by HDB in the late 60s, but that's not its only first. The first MRT station to be built in Singapore was the Toa Payoh station in 1985. And 2 years later, on November 7, 1987, it was one of the 5 stations to open its doors to the first passengers. Toa Payoh also has Singapore's first air-conditioned bus interchange integrated with an MRT station and a shopping mall. Here's another first coming right up. In 1973, Toa Payoh was the first town in Singapore to host the first international sports event, the Southeast Asian Peninsula Games, now known as the SEA Games. In the Siap Games Village, the town library was used as the secretariat building, while the stadium, sports hall, and swimming complex were all competition venues. 4 HDB point blocks served as accommodation for athletes. Each flat housed 6 athletes, and after the games, all the units were sold to the public fully furnished. Located in the heart of Toa Payoh Central, the village gave these athletes and officials an opportunity to have a taste of the Singaporean way of life. Moving on, here's an eye-catching block of flats with a unique Y-shaped design. I'm now at Block 53, a very iconic landmark for many residents here in Toa Payoh as well as Singaporeans. Iconic not only because of the unique design of this block of flats, but more because in 1972, the residents of this block received a very special guest. On 18 February 1972, the Queen of England visited this exact block, and the visit was to let her have an insight of the life of Singaporeans. This was a most memorable childhood memory for 7-year-old Jerome Lim when Her Majesty visited the 3-room flat he was living in. In 2006, Queen Elizabeth visited Toa Payoh again for the 2nd time. Now who says Toa Payoh has no nightlife? At 11 p.m. every weekday night, this road morphs into a wholesale vegetable market catering mostly to wet market vendors or restaurant owners. It is a lot messier than the neat shelves at the supermarts. But when it's this fresh and this cheap, who cares, right? I'm now at Calico MRT Station, the 3rd and newest MRT station in Toa Payoh. Now behind me you see this piece of empty land. Now did you know that 30 years back, this used to be a hospital? I bet you didn't know that. Toa Payoh Hospital started as Thomson Road Hospital in 1959 and was renamed Toa Payoh Hospital in 1975. By the 80s and 90s, it could no longer cope with the demands, and in 1997, it officially ceased operations. This is now the site of new housing developments in the near future. Way before the Dragon Playground got famous, there was already a dragon in Lorong 3 blessing the nearby residents. But if dragons are not your thing, there's another majestic creature standing guard over at Lorong 6. An awesome looking pair. But hey, Toa Payoh is a mature estate. not a Jurassic one. So these are the interesting facts I want to share with you. And Toa Payoh is indeed a great place to live in. It's got something old, something new, it's got history, and even the latest bubble tea flavor. And like Kit Chan says, this is where I know is home.